Hey everyone, and welcome to the Vault, where we showcase little nuggets of uncommon tech. Even if you've seen this stuff before, you may not know how to pull it off or what exactly is going on. So the goal is again to just kind of show it off. So hopefully these smaller videos will hold you over while we work on the bigger guides. But today we're going to be talking about Noctis a little. So everyone's favorite character, right? He's so popular, I'm sure you see him everywhere. But on a serious note, he is a rather strong character, and he's got some really good Oki garbage. But since not a lot of people play him, that stuff is typically not on display. So we're going to look at a little bit of that in this video. Alright, so first, everyone probably knows that if you eat the 2 string in the back, down back 12 or down forward 2 will catch standards. Well, what about rollers? Well, he's got some stuff for that too. So we're going to take a look at dash, down back 1, 1+2. Now, just a heads up, you'll notice that I have guard all turned off. And the only reason that I do that is because the computer loves to stand back around after you reset position. So I don't want to have to keep doing that a million times. But we'll take a look at everything and just kind of keep that in mind. That's why I don't have it turned on. But dash, down back 1, 1+2 literally covers every option that you could do. If they short roll to either side, one of the 2 hits will connect. If they stay grounded, it'll refloat. If they stand, it'll hit in the back. If they backward stand, it hits and pushes away. And even if they stay on the ground, wait for the down back 1 to whiff, the second part will still hit them in the back if they try to get up or get up kick or anything. So let's quickly roll through those here. So this is the side roll left. So the second part clips. Put them on side roll right. The first hit connects. If we make them do nothing, this is where we get our refloat. And then finally, if they try to get up, it'll hit in the back. That one actually is a little iffy, but you'll notice that it's a safe string, right? So there's a ton of safety when you do this option, because not only will it hit in some capacity when you're trying to do these, even if you mess it up or if you get weird timing or something like that, something will typically hit, and even if they can get up and block it, it's completely safe. So you don't really risk anything by going for this. But the one thing that we haven't looked at yet are the long tech rolls. For the long tech rolls, I had to record the computer for this because long rolling isn't an option in the menu, so you have to record this to kind of set it up. But if they do a long roll to your right, to Noctis's right, he still gets a refloat, and if they long roll to his left, depends on how they time their roll, but something will always connect, and you can still potentially get a refloat. So I'm going to turn this on just so that you can kind of see this, and then I'll try to get out of this. So there's the refloat. If I go to the right, and then if I go to the left, just kind of depends. So that time he just clipped me with the down back 1. That time got the second one. So you see that like it varies depending on how you do that. Okay, so let's go back to the short roll for a moment so we can kind of talk about meta. With a short roll, the game forces you to stand up. If you don't hit any buttons after a short roll, it'll just stand you up. But you can't get up kick, and you can choose whether to stand straight up or do the backward stand. But either way, you can only stay on the ground if you do the long roll. So if you read that they're going to do the short roll, you can still dash, and instead of doing down back 1+2, you can try to do down back 12 or down forward 2. The timing is a little bit goofy, like you do have to wait for a minute, but you can still get it. And like you saw right there, even if you mess up the timing, down back 12 is a little trickier. But even if you mess up the timing, you're typically going to hit them on the ground or while they're moving. So there we go, we got it right there. And then down forward 2 produces the same result. So you just got to get the timing down for a little bit, but you're still going to get damage typically, no matter what you try to do. So to summarize, long rolling to Noctis's left typically will give your opponent the best positioning to try to get out of stuff, but they're still likely to eat damage. And it is worth noting that forward 4, if we put them back to front here, That forward, forward, 4 leaves you in a similar position, and you can do forward, forward, 4 either out in the open like I just did, or it's a common juggle ender. But most people after 444 will hunt for the stand up for the down forward 2 afterwards. But you can do a lot of what we just went over with the down back 2 stuff, and if they try to roll or any of that stuff. Like the standard 50-50 is to either do down back 2, excuse me, not down back 2, down forward 2 to catch them if they try to stand, or to do down back 1+2 if they try to just sit there. But if they start rolling, you can still get a lot of the same stuff that we just talked about with down forward 1. Okay, or down back 1, excuse me. Okay, so you want more down back 1 stuff, right? Okay, how about from counter hit up 1? In this case, down back 1, forward 1 is just going to outright combo. So because of that weird side turn, they can't get up. They can't tech roll, they can't stand or anything. They have to eat that shield. Now, just like before, if you have a good read on what your opponent is going to do, and if they like to get up or whatever, you can hunt for stuff like down forward 2 relaunches. Yeah, so as you can see there, you know, if they try to stand up or anything like that, or if you think they'll just roll, you can also do stuff like down 1 or whatever. But you have options there. But the shield is guaranteed no matter what they do. Even if they stay on the ground, it'll still hit. So yeah, neat, right? So, okay, so we've been messing around with the open field stuff, but how about some wall nonsense, right? So a tech video wouldn't be a tech video without some wall stuff, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this first one is some fancy combo stuff, but it's ideal if you want to try to get optimal damage with Noctis at the wall. So we're going to do forward, forward 12, sidestep left, down forward 4, delay 2, jab, down forward 4, 2, and then another sidestep left into the down back 1 shield. So here we go. Yeah, so again, they cannot get out of that. There's nothing they can do. Tech roll, stand up, stay there. That shield is always going to hit. It's really important to delay that first down forward 2 to get the spacing you need. And you have to do a really deep sidestep left for that first one as well. You can get that on other splatters, on other wall splats, but the forward 12 just sets it up really nicely, so it's typically the easiest to do it on. And if you really want to get fancy, you can also go into the down back 1 roll. So it doesn't really offer you a ton of rewards, but you know, as you can see, that shield from the previous juggle kind of bounced them back out into the open. So if you want to keep them into the wall or something, you can always do the slide off their down back 1, no big deal. But to end this video, we're actually going to leave down back 1 alone for a moment. Instead, let's do some up forward 2 tech trap nonsense. Luckily, these are really easy. So unlike the other ones, like no real big combos or anything like that. So first, you can either do down forward 1-4 or back 3-1, but either way, you get the wall splat, and then you do down back 2, up forward 2, and that's it. Now, it's really important to note a couple things. First of all, this only works on tech roll right. Okay, and you also might have noticed that the computer was blocking it, but that's because the computer cheats. This situation is a crossover. For a human being, you cannot block that. They're blocking it because they're set to block it, but it's actually a crossover. So I have recorded the computer doing this, and I will show you that I cannot get out of it. So that was me holding back. And then if I try to like do some crossover, like hold forward nonsense, still doesn't work. So there's nothing you can do about that. It's just kind of a little system thing where because the computer is set to guard all. So this is one of those things where probably not a lot of people know about, or a lot of people know, because it's hard to identify when you're in practice mode. But what's really interesting is that you can actually do this same thing from combos. It doesn't have to be either of those wall splats necessarily. Okay, so if we go back to the middle of the string, we're just going to do like a really easy standard combo, but then we're going to end with the down back 2 stuff again. There you go. And then in this case, the computer is set to guard all, and even this time, the computer could not block it. So just you know, a little nastiness for you if you want to try to do some tech traps. The key is just to get that down back to with decent spacing and timing at the wall, but it's really not that tough. Like, you can mash most of this stuff. But anyway, that's it. So again, these are just little like showcase videos. I hope to have more in the future. Hope you learned something, or you know, we showed you something that you didn't know before. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this. And then hopefully we should have some more out here in the future.
Before we end the video, reminder to come join us on Twitch. I also got the Facebook and Twitter if you want to reach out there. Otherwise, I have to chill for just a moment and ask that you please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. I promise, every little bit helps way more than you might think. More support equals more content more often. It also lets me enlist the skills of other talented folks. Probably most importantly, it lets me keep my content as ad-free as I can. Beyond that, thank you very much for watching and have a good one.